fine, hon. I have like a 680, I think.
Good evening, everyone. As 6 o'clock comes upon us, the bewitching hour, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I have Kim's wonderful face on here with us. Who else is going to join us and share their current domicile situation? I guess you all know what you're going to hear in the background from me because they're at it already. See right there. So look that one right there. There she is. I told you about my other one. Last night was coaching, and I told her, I said, I have somebody like you. She likes to do the finger thing. So you talking to me or somebody else? Because you're muted, Flo.
My mom. She's in the
Oh,
kitchen. I'm in the living room right now.
Mom, she's busy. Leave us alone.
We're trying to figure out if she wants to buy a house.
Of course she does. Tell her I know a good agent.
That's what I'm saying.
You have a good time. Why wouldn't she want to buy a house? It's a great way
She does, but she has a lot of student loans.
Well, what's a lot?
She finished, I don't know. She finishes her schooling. What, Mom? May? May, you finish? 60 grand. Yeah, 60 grand.
That's how much debt is?
Mm-hmm. She just got her master's.
In psychology. You're her daughter, I'm just saying.
What'd you get your master's in?
Are you shitting me?
Don't swear on Zoom.
Resources. Same as my bachelor. What I work in.
I'm already loving your mom. This is fun.
Human resources.
Oh, okay.
My face turned.
All right.
Yeah, sweating a little.
Kim in the car. Candace being studious with the glasses tonight. Look at me. The smart one in the bunch. And another one, I'm not sure if she's talking to us or not, but she's not, I can tell. Who else is joining us on camera tonight? We only got a handful. We want to have fun and engage and be joyous and bright. Seesaw. Look at that. Miss Jessica, thank you. Appreciate you all. You know how I am. I like to see people's faces. I want to know what we're doing. Managing all this chat and all these letting people in and all that stuff like that. It's not a one-man show. Let me just tell you what. So, all right. Welcome back. Welcome. Who would like to start us off tonight with a takeaway so far? You have been through what, 5 sessions now? 4 sessions. 3 last week, 1 this week so far. Who has a nice, amazing takeaway that you're like, oh my God, this was the best thing yet? And we don't have to talk about my class last Wednesday. We know how awesome that was. Let's hear about some of the other people. Owl friend. Oh, sorry, guys.
There's this place called Remine, which seemed very interesting, which allows you to get what's it called? Like an area of a house, and you can sometimes access their numbers to probably Gmail, so you can be able to get access to them and perhaps talk to them.
Who told you about that? Who shared that?
His name was Steve, I think. Steve Hooper. Okay. Last class. It's pretty good.
So Maryland folks, well, pretty much all of us, anybody in the Bright MLS, Remine. I use this very cautiously when I talk about it. It is a tool that I like a lot, and it used to be a paid-for service. Bright MLS gave it to us for free. And then right around pandemic, I think it was, or thereabouts, Bright MLS came out and said, hey, less than 1%, less than 1% of the entire MLS, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, DC, Delaware, Maryland, and what, Jersey? Less than 1% of the agents in those markets had accessed the Remind platform more than once. And I'm like, I just can't believe that. That is a very valuable tool. And I'm just super shocked to hear that statistic. However, I will tell you, and I wish this wasn't recorded, and if it does, if it doesn't leak out anywhere, because one day they're going to figure it out, we still have access for free. So I want to give you that backstory. So get in it, learn it, use it as much as you can before Remind figures out we still got access and we're not paying for it. Because it was $1,200 a year before Bright gave it to us as far as our subscription. And if they find out, they're going to come after us and want to start paying again or something like that. So Remind.com, make sure you're using the agent. There's a spot that says for agent. You're not hitting the login button, you're using the for agent, and then it asks you to pick your state, and it'll put your MLS in there, and then you use your Bright MLS credentials to sign in. So it is a great tool. Get in there and learn about it. I've done some classes on it, so if anybody wants to know anything about it, feel free to reach out to me. All right. Who else has got a nice little aha or takeaway from the last couple sessions that wants to share something? Caesar's going to look another one. So there's a virtual hand we can put up. This is why your camera needs to be on, because Caesar's doing this, Chloe does this. Now that I know sign language, go Caesar.
Oh, there was so it's something that has been stated continuously in the office, but Command, it seems to be a more so a rather useful tool to help you make up reminders for who to get in contact with to just be more organized. And since I've seen it in an example more so physically, I got a better idea.
So I'll go back to what I said. I'm pretty sure I said it last week. I say it a lot, so sometimes I don't remember when I say it or when I don't say it. Command. See, I was stuck on Remind for a second. Command is your best friend. You can do everything you need to do to run your business in our platform. You need to learn it, you need to live it, and you need to know it. 30 minutes a day. If you are not tech savvy, 30 minutes, I'm coming to you, I see you, bro. 30 minutes a day. If you're tech savvy, you can do more. If you're not tech savvy, I'm going to tell you to keep it at 30 minutes a day, because there is so much to learn. If I were to teach you a class just on the contacts applet, I could talk to you for over 2 hours on just the contacts applet. There is a lot of stuff there. Get deep and get personal with Command. It will help you run your business and help you create success. Oh.
Kind of piggybacking off what he said, the Command Smart Plans, I have met a lot of people that like preach on them. I haven't used them yet, but it seems like it will be a great resource. The teacher last night was talking about it as well, but also our like tech guys and just people in our office talk about them all the time.
How many are you are 6 months and less? You can go physical, raise your hand, a virtual, raise your hand. Kim's going 2. She's got a virtual hand up because she wants to say something, and now she's one hand in the car. Drive safe, girl. So if you are less than 6 months, you still have the opportunity to make the big announcement. And because you guys have brought this up, we're going to talk about open houses tonight. We're going to talk about social media lead capture as well. I will get into some smart plans for you, because using the smart plans as a follow-up is your best friend. All right. And I'm going to give you a smart plan. Anybody, really, if you're a year or less, especially if you haven't done any business the past year, I'm going to give you a smart plan tonight that you can use to re-engage with your database or just make the announcement you're in business. All right. Kim, Kyle, what do you have for us?
I don't know if I learned this on the Ignite or I just learned this from someone in the office, but about with the app, the command app, and being able to export your contacts into under contacts on the website or whatever, or in there. Does that make sense? Like I can take,
Does.
I mean, I can take my contact, and it made my life so much easier because I was just able to go through my phone and click on people, and it exported them into import them, whatever it did to them. It sent them into there, and now they're in there with their phone number and everything, and then I can just go in there and kind of update it. I think that's a newer thing they said that just started not too long ago.
That is correct. That is 1.8 on the Command Mobile app. If you do not have Command Mobile downloaded and you have not yet imported your contacts from your phone into Command, this is going to be your easiest and fastest way to do it. You're going to go into Command Mobile, and there is now a way to just click on import, and it will directly import through the Command Mobile app. I just put answers.kw.com in the chat. That is your best friend. That is one of your best friends besides me. Just kidding. Anything you need inside of Command or Command Mobile, that is where you go. Just go into search bar or go into Command directly. There's a button right in the center. Click Command. It takes you into all the help articles to walk you through nearly everything you need to know. Daniel, is your hand up to share, or was it up from a question? Just want to make sure I don't miss you.
It's up from a question. I'll take it down. Sorry.
No problem. No problem. Just want to make sure because I saw it was still up. All right, you guys ready to jump in? I think most of us are here. All right. We are talking about what tonight? Just gave you guys the answer. Nobody remembers? We're doing some lead capture tonight. It's a nice lead capture. It's going to be brought to you by the letter H in the, I'm sorry. It's going to be brought to you by open houses and social media. So who knows about open houses? Who wants to share what they think an open house is? You know what? I'm going to change this for a second. I'm going to change this. We're going to talk open houses. I'm going to give you guys something a little bit better for open houses. How many of you have heard about the playbooks that KWRI has put out for us? All right. Your market centers should be teaching this. If they're not, get on somebody about it. I am doing this at a high level in both my market centers personally, and have gone through and created slide decks around all the open house or all the playbooks. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. And in fact, I am teaching this tomorrow in my Frederick office. I did open house, did this exact same thing already in my Columbia office. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon in my Frederick office. So all my local people, if you guys want to come up to the Frederick office at 12 o'clock and join this open house class to go a little bit deeper into open houses and do some masterminding, you're more than welcome to join me in my office. Reach out to me and I'll get you the address and any more information you need to know. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown through the playbook, super quick, and then I'll jump back into the actual slides from Ignite. But what is an open house? What's important about an open house? I really want to focus on just a couple slides in here in particular. We're going to see them in the other slide deck too, but I think my slides are pretty. Who's done an open house or, well, how about this? Who's attended an open house? Just yourself. You wanted to buy a house or you're curious. Who went out and looked at an open house? What was your thoughts about the open house? Anyone? Okay, Chloe.
I haven't done one myself or like walked into one, but I've shadowed a few. A lot of people have different tactics in showing the house and presenting it. Like I went with one guy, he just had like the I can't think of what it's called, like the details of the house all on one page, a few stacks of that, the few papers and that's it. And he just stood there. And if people had questions, that's how he did it. Other people do like cookies and they really go all out and have people like walking around the house, like one person for the downstairs, one for the upstairs. I think they're just a good way to present houses. And I mean, a lot of people put a lot of effort into them and some just use it to show the house and just kind of hang out.
All right, I appreciate that, and you're absolutely correct. We all have a little bit of a different twist we put on open houses. In general, we should be running open houses in a systematic way. This playbook here is about open houses. I'm going to leave this up for you guys right here. This is a QR code, or if you're on your laptop or your desktop and want to follow that bit.ly code under the QR code, this will take you to a spreadsheet from my office. It will have all of the playbooks on it. Lauren, I saw your hand up. I'll come back to you in a second if you still want to go. This will take you to all the playbooks. We have plenty of playbooks that have come out from Cater Your Eye to help you run your business. It's about newsletters, open houses, social media. Ironically, I'm doing open house. I'm doing this playbook tomorrow. I already did it in my Columbia office. And next week, I'm doing the social media class. So it's very much in line where you guys are at right now. So again, the people that are local to me, Columbia and Frederick, if you want to come to either one of my classes, reach out to me and let me know. You can come up to my offices and check out these playbooks because I'm going to be teaching these. Lauren, I saw your hand go up there for a minute. Did you have something you want to share real quick?
I was gonna say, I really do enjoy doing open houses. I feel like it's a great way to connect with people, and it's also a great way to market because you can go and knock on the houses beforehand and invite the people in the neighborhood to the open house, and that also shows that you're going above and beyond for just in case somebody else want to list their house in that neighborhood too.
I love the fact that you said you could go out and knock on doors. Who here, A, has done door knocking, B, wants to do door knocking, or C, is absolutely horrified of door knocking? Don't everybody answer at once. It's okay. I can answer for myself. Did everybody get this QR code, by the way? Those that want it, all the playbooks are there. Take advantage of them. Plus all the resources from Family Reunion are on this slide deck as well. As in every class, Kate says afraid, but also confident that I can do one. Vanessa, B and C. I want to, but I'm scared to death to do it. We're going to talk about that because I'm very pro door knocking, and I'll explain why as we get through some of this. And Lauren, I appreciate you because the circle prospecting around listings is the best way to generate immediate business. So as we talk about every single class, TCPA, it's in all of our slide decks and everything we do. If you do not have permission to call anybody, do not call them and violate that. In the state of Maryland, it is a $40,000 fine. Keep that in mind if you ever want to make that call and risk it. All right. First open house, 1910. 2021 National Association of Realtors buyer and seller report states 53% of all home buyers source information about a property at an open house. What that means is that people actually went to open houses to learn about the home and to learn about the market. There's one other thing that they're doing when they're going to open houses. Can you guys think about what it might be?
Look around.
To look around, they're looking around. What else? What are they looking around for?
They get a realtor.
Thank you, Dawn. They're actually shopping for realtors also. They don't know it. Some do, some don't. This is your opportunity to get in front of these people and actually win them over. Like Lauren said, you get to meet these people. Your best return possible is a face-to-face, voice-to-voice conversation. Face-to-face is a whole lot better because they're going to see your authentic, yeah, if I could talk tonight. Authenticity, God, I'm not going to do it. They can see you're authentic. How about that? Well, I couldn't get that word out to save my life tonight. No laughing at me, Chloe. They're going to see how authentic you are. They're going to feel who you are. They're going to see who you are. One of my #1 rules in anything is be your true authentic self. Do not go into this job thinking you have to be somebody different than you are. Be who you are. The people that are like you and want to be around you, they're going to do business with you. The only thing I will tell you to do, no matter where you are in this business, stay away from the political arena just because it's not worth the headaches. However, if you are going to be political, commit and commit big, because you're still going to get business in that as well. So use that as you see fit and as it fits your business and your life. So here's one of the main slides I want to get to is open house myth understandings. So here are some of the myths around open houses. Buyers who come to open houses are not ready to buy. Everyone just looks at open houses online, so open houses are a waste of time. Buyers who come to open houses already have an agent, and open houses only work if you do them on the weekend. How do you guys feel about those myths? You guys believe them? You think they're accurate? You think they're not accurate?
I think the only work if you do them on the weekend, I don't think that's necessarily accurate because there's a lot of jobs that people have to work on the weekends or they're working overnight. So I don't know. I kind of feel strongly about that one. Like, I think it would work just fine on like an evening or even an afternoon.
You would be correct. That is a very good way to look at it. Kate, I see you in the comments there, not accurate. All four are inaccurate. Zoe, even if the buyers already have a great agent, they can still put in offers for the property you're showing. That is correct. Chloe, was that a claw that I saw a second ago or no? Okay. All right. Called it out of the corner of my eye. That's all. So here's what we got. The reality of this. Almost everyone who comes to an open house will transact. Are they going to transact right then and there? Not always. These might be people that are just starting the process and they might be 2 or 3 months out. They may not even have spoken to a lender yet to know where they stand, right? National Association of Realtors, 41% of buyers reported using open houses as a source of information, and 28% used open houses frequently to occasionally during their home search, right? They're out and about living their life, right? Who's going to go out this weekend and, I don't know, just shop? Maybe go do an event at your local town, maybe go to a winery or a brewery or whatever the case may be. People drive down the road, they see open houses when they're in the mindset of buying, they might stop in. Might not be the house they want, but it's an open house. I want to check it out. I like open houses. They're cool to go in and check out, right? On average, buyers search for 3 weeks before contacting an agent. That's super important because that shows you that you need to have the conversations with these people when they're there. Because if you're sitting there like, well, how long have you been looking? I'm like, oh, we've been hitting open houses now for about 4 weeks. Guess what? They probably haven't picked an agent yet. And the reason they're still looking at open houses is because nobody's helping them. So we need to know how to have those conversations around that. Day and time vary. Yes, we call them twilights. The twilight open houses are typically like that Thursday night or Wednesday night. You offer up like a wine and cheese thing, or maybe a beer and sandwiches or something like that. And you really promote it as a kind of happy hour open house, if you will, to get those people in there. And you're right, you never know when they're going to go. So change up your variance on when you're going to do your open houses and when you're not going to do them, because it does change a lot. Conversation we had Tuesday, that was yesterday in my Columbia office around that same subject is rentals. Who is currently dealing with renters? Do you have a rental listing in your office? Do you know somebody who has a rental listing in your office? Damon's got renters you're dealing with. Your best bet, you guys want to know the secret about renters? Write this down. I feel like I'm singing a George Strait song. Write this down. Questions you need to ask renters to save you time, money, and energy and sanity. 1, what is their yearly income? We need to know what their yearly income is, because in our area here, I know we got people from out of state, in our area here, we are using the math formula of rent times 40, times 30, times 40, depending on who you talk to. Whatever the rent is times 40, that's their yearly income to qualify for a property. Never be afraid to ask people about their income. Secondary, what's the credit score? You guys know in our area here in Maryland, DC, landlords are looking for over 700 in most cases for credit scores. Over 700. If they're over 700, they're buying a house with me. We're not renting some, period of the story. Right? Another thing, do they have any evictions? You'd be surprised how many renters will admit they actually do. Number 4 is housing vouchers. Are they on any type of housing voucher? Because that's going to limit their properties as well, right? Number 5, what kind of background do they have? They have any criminal background we need to be worried about or concerned about? And lastly, which is the winning question in my entire life, do you have pets? Give you guys that just for information purposes, because they answer those questions in any certain way. You're going to know whether they're worth your time in working with them, or you're going to be able to flip them into a potential buyer. And if they answer those questions, more importantly, the pet one, because right now, any of you guys in the Maryland, DC area, go into your MLS, check your county. I don't care what county you're in, put in rental properties and look for everything in PG, everything in Montgomery, Howard, wherever. You're going to find anywhere between 30 to 100 homes, because I don't know what other counties have. And as soon as you click that little thing that says allows pet, you're going to drop down to like 3 or 4. So it's a great question to ask. I give you that to give you this. When you're dealing with renters, if you are the listing agent on a rental property, or if you have an agent in your office that has a rental listing, offer to host open houses on your rentals during the week. Because we don't make a lot of money off rentals. We don't want to run around, honestly. And now you're doing the rent, the monthly rent for the property, Sabrina, monthly rent times 40. That's the yearly income they need. If you host an open house for a rental, you're going to get more people to show up to it. If you just start taking appointments and going out there, renters have a history of not showing up. So treat rentals the same way you would anything else, and do open houses. All right. Some more myths for you. The main reason to have an open house is to sell the listing. Open houses only attract curiosity seekers and neighbors. I am only doing lead generation on weekends if I spend my time hosting an open house. I don't need to do an open house if I do a broker open, or I don't need to do a broker open if I do an open house. How do we feel about those? I guess the first question is, how many of you guys know what a broker open is? And some of you, Chloe and Brooke, was Brooke the one in Cincinnati? You guys might not do this. Again, you got to know your laws and your processes in your jurisdiction. Here in Maryland, we do brokers opens. We haven't seen a lot of them because the way the market's been. But a broker open is nothing more than an open house for real estate agents. You pick a day. Normally it's midday. You get a lender, your title company involved. They bring sandwiches and drinks. You invite all the real estate agents in the area to come by. This is your chance for them to come in, check the property out, and give you feedback, whether you're priced right, maybe some repairs need to be done, maybe it needs to be painted. You're gathering feedback from other professionals so that you can take it back to your seller and say, hey, we got to take care of some things or we're going to have a problem selling this property. Make sense? Now, that's a great method to find out if you need to do those things. On that note, as you show properties, folks, as you take buyers out to properties, please do the listing agents a favor and please complete the surveys when they're sent to you after the showing. We want the feedback because we need it to take back to the sellers to convince for price reductions and things like that. All right. Same thing if you take if you take your client to an open house, like, hey, we want to go see this house this weekend. Well, I'll tell you what, we're already seeing these other 3 or 4. That one's an open house. So as long as we stop by at any time, we'll go by. You will have agents show up to an open house. If they do, get their information, ask them to give you some feedback because we need to know the feedback. I want to know what's going on. And they're going to be the professionals to give it to us, right? Questions so far? Make sense? Don't worry, I won't spend a lot of time in these slides. Maybe. We'll see.
Question?
Here's what we got.
Matt?
Yeah, what do you got?
with the statement of when there's an agent that comes into an open house and you ask for their feedback, what type of feedback is it that you're looking for? Like the type of performance that one did during that time of the open house when you were managing it?
The feedback that we're getting, and it's the same thing on the feedback forms that go out from showing time to you when you show a property, is they're asking about price, they're asking about to rate your visit, like out of all the homes you saw, like that day, how's this rate, 1 through 5? They're asking for just general comments. That's a great question, Caesar, and I appreciate it, because please only give feedback that is actually useful, which isn't the right word, that can be completed. How about that? A lot of people like to give in the feedbacks. I've seen it myself. Great house. If it was in that neighborhood, I can't move the house. Do not provide inadequate feedback. I can't physically move a house, so I don't care if it looks better in another neighborhood, right? I want to know it needs to be painted. Carpets need to be cleaned or replaced, right? Hey, I found a leak in the basement. I don't know if you knew about it, but you might want to check it out, right? My clients climbed up in the attic and we saw it looks like water markings on the roof. You might want to get the roof checked. So it's about the feedback that is relevant that can be addressed. Can I do anything with the feedback? If I can't do anything with it, I don't want to hear about it. One of the number one things that we like to hear is the pricing. How do you feel about the price? In your opinion, is it high, low, or just right? All right, that's the type of feedback we need in order to, and you're going to need as listing agents in order to get these houses sold. And it happens at open houses as well. So ask them for the open houses, or ask the agents at the open house to give feedback. You can also do what is a scorecard or a feedback form right there. It's another way to capture information from everybody that's there. So you can say, hey, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, thanks for coming to the open house. Thanks for registering for my open house. Would you take 2 minutes to fill out this little survey to give me some feedback on the property? It can be electronic, it can be paper, but I want their feedback. If you were to make, and one of the good questions people ask, if you were to buy this house today, what price would you pay for it? It's just another way of asking, is the house overpriced? Right? Does that answer your question, Caesar?
Yes, and I had one more that came regarding the agent that comes in asking for a feedback when they give a feedback. Is it all right to be asked? Sorry, how to say this? When you ask any sort of agent, even though they're not in Keller Williams, but they're in somewhere like Remax and such?
They're professionals. They're in the business. They look at houses all day long like you do. I want to know what they feel about the house. Right? Okay. They're the ones bringing the buyer in. So if they give me feedback, at least now I know why their buyer didn't buy it. You know, here, sometimes your feedback might be the house is great. The floor plan just didn't fit, right? Or something in the house my buyers just didn't like. That's going to happen, right? We'll take that too, because at least we can say, look, the house is great. It just didn't fit these people. The room sizes weren't big enough, right? Or I really need 4 bedrooms. This is only 3. I was hoping to use the basement as a bedroom for my oldest son or oldest child. And it wasn't going to work the way the basement was laid out. I love the house. And if it had the extra bedroom, I'd do it. That's still feedback that's useful because it at least lets us know that people do like it. So positive feedback as well as negative feedback. Constructive criticism, I should say, right?
Thank you.
All right, in our myth understandings here, reality open houses are a lead generation tool. I saw that in the chat earlier about great way to get referrals. Who said that earlier? Zoe, I think you said it, or Kate said it. Somebody said it. Saw it earlier. Kim said it. Good place to find referrals. This is a good way to find people in general. So open houses are a lead generation tool. A well-executed prospecting and marketing for open houses will bring you buyer leads and attract neighbors who become curious about selling. This goes back to the circle prospecting and door knocking and inviting neighbors into the house. In order to run an open house, I'm going to stop on this slide and then I'm going to go back to the main slides because I can get into those. I'm going to a couple other things. Step 1, pick the right open house. Step 2, we got to create the marketing material. Step 3, we're going to market the open house. And step 4, you're going to get ready to host the open house. And step 5 is follow up. This goes into your smart plans that Chloe and a couple you mentioned. Smart plans are going to be your saving grace. You need to learn them. You need to know them. You need to live them because they're going to help you get through everything you need to get through. All right. We get back in our other set of slides here for you guys. That little intro I just gave you there is going to get us through this set even quicker. Any questions on anything so far? I know I kind of jumped around a little bit. I want to bring it back to a little bit of order now. Everybody good? All right.
Will there be time to ask questions in the end of the slides or when we're done with?
Ask when you need to ask. Ask when you need to ask. I'm okay with that. All right. Speed my slides up a little bit here. Get us where we need to get to. All right. Here's some other limiting beliefs as well. If I don't have a listing to hold an open house, again, find somebody in your office that has a listing. I don't care if it's a rental listing or if it's a for sale listing. Rental listings are a great open house to hold to capture lots of leads, to be honest with you. Matter of fact, if you have an agent in your office that has a rental listing, I'm going to be honest with this. My rental listings, I try to find somebody else to handle it. I don't want the leads. I don't want the headaches. I just want somebody to get it done for me. So I'm more than happy personally to go, hey, who wants to handle this listing? You can do all the open houses you want. You can have every lead that comes from it. Just bring me a renter. That's all I care about. Most of us feel that way. The benefit to you is you get to market the property. It gives you, especially newer agents, something to put on social media to show that you're in the business, something to show that you're active, and the number of leads that come in on rental listings far outweighs the number of leads you get on a sale listing. Because most people that are looking for something to purchase are already speaking to an agent or are doing something that they're going to end up with somebody else. It's not often we as listing agents get both sides of the transaction. Yes, here in Maryland, we can do both sides of the transaction. I'm not going to get into that. It is a tough thing to do. And if you haven't been in the business for at least 2 years and done at least, I'd say at least 6 or 7 transactions in that time frame, you should probably never try it. Unless you're really, really good and you learn it really quick, because you can violate agency really easy and really fast and get in trouble. So I would always get a secondary agent to help you out with that. However, you can do both sides. I don't have signs yet. So what if you don't have signs? Go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, go to Walmart, just buy those red and white open house signs for directionals to point to the open house. Nobody cares. It doesn't have to be branded. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just put signs out directing people to the open house. I may not know the answers to questions visitors have. This is a great limiting belief. What questions do you think visitors to Maricruz just said Amazon? I agree. Amazon's another place to do it. Here's your key thing when it comes to open house directionals, right? Open house directionals are the signs you see in the corner with the arrow pointing in the direction of people to go. They get blown away. They get stolen. You lose them. Do not spend a lot of money on them. They're going to be an expendable thing in your business. All right. What questions do you guys think visitors to an open house could have that you feel you might not have the answers to? Because I promise you, we can dispel that very simply. What do you guys think?
What type of issues does the home have?
Okay. What types of issues the home has? What else? Who else got another one?
They can ask about specific renovations that have been done in the house recently.
Okay. Renovations that have been done recently. What else?
X, where the property starts to end. I've got that a couple of times.
So the property boundaries, like
Yeah.
where the lot goes and where it starts.
Yes, the lot. Yes.
All right. All right. First one. Caesar, what was your first one? What did you say again?
What type of issues does the house have?
Since there are no issues in this house, it's a great house. First off, I'm not telling you about issues. Secondary, if there are issues, they're gonna be, that you have to disclose them, right? I would ask, well, what issues do you think would be in the house? And I would just walk around and point them out. Mary Cruz, you said renovations. And Caesar, this goes for both of you. When you're picking an open house to do, make sure you talk to the listing agent. You are now, if you're holding an open house, who do you represent? I think I saw Kim
The
mouth
seller.
seller. You're representing the seller. So you need to know everything the listing agent knows, yes?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go to the listing agent and go, what do I need to know? Renovations, are there any questionable things somebody might see? You know, does the hot water heater look like it's about ready to blow up? Does the HVAC unit look like it's ready to die? Does the roof look like it's in bad shape? What do I need to know that somebody may see and ask me about? And what is my answer? Both of those things are, you're gonna go to the listing agent, you're gonna ask, because you need to know it. There are other things you need to ask as well. And I don't know if it's, I'm sure it's someplace in this slide. In our listing agreement here in Maryland, and take note, I do say that because I know we got our out-of-state people. Here in Maryland, our listing agreement has some key questions for hosting an open house in particular. And the one question is, can I discuss, as the listing agent to the seller, can I discuss other properties while at the open house? You need to ask that question of the listing agent, because some sellers will say, no, I only want you talking about my house. And if that's the case, you are not allowed to talk to prospects about other homes. You can say, hey, I'd love to talk to you more. Can we meet after my open house? What's your contact information? I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. I can't do it right now. Now, if you're allowed to, and the seller agrees to it, then you can say, great, what other houses are you thinking about doing? I would still caution you against that, because if another person that's in the house hears you having that conversation, it could sound like you're pushing people away from this house. So you might have permission to do it. Make sure you do it very delicately, if you will. Does that make sense? You all know that's part of the listing agreement, that you have to have permission to do that. By the way, there's also in there about social media marketing. So if you're going to have this open house, you want to start posting on social media, which we're going to talk about in a little bit as well. I need to know they gave authorization for me to be able to do stuff social media wise. So we need to know everything about that listing agreement and what that seller approves or disapproves. All right. So let's dive into Lauren's about property boundaries. How do we find that out? I'll give you two ways. You want the easy way or the hard way?
You go on to like
You're not
the,
getting easy first, Kim. Stop it. I see you mouthing it. I can read lips, girl. All right. Hard way is, and it's not even hard. So write this down. Write this down. Hold on. Let me verify it, because I'm going to want to say you wrong. I got to verify the web address. I think I have it saved. If I don't have it saved, I have to go find it real quick. I'm pretty sure I remember what it is. And I never saved this site. For the life of me, I never know why I don't save this link. Oh, I know why. I just remember what it is. I really should, I'll just put it in the chat for you guys. So the state of Maryland has this wonderful thing called Finder Online. And it is planning.maryland.gov. It's apps.maryland.planning.gov. Matter of fact, you guys see that map in the middle of the screen? Yes, no, somebody? Yes, yes, okay. I'm gonna give you the link right here though. What this is that you're gonna go in here now and you're gonna put in a property address, and it will take you right down to that property. And it will, you have the ability to put layers on this and find out where the property boundaries are. Now, this is you still physically going out and looking at printing this out and going, well, it looks like it runs there, runs there. It's never going to be exact. Okay, it's never going to be exact. However, this is one way for you to be able to figure it out. All right. So I don't have an actual address, so I'm going to just show you by doing this. I can go in and I can say parcel points. please. And then I want to do parcel boundaries. You can very faintly see these little light gray lines in here. You can just barely see them. By the way, you can draw on this. So I can actually go in here and get some lines and make it big so you guys can see it. And then I can go in here and I can draw lines and tell you that this is the property boundary. So you can give this to your client, they'll get an aerial view of it, you can view it, you can see it, and that gives them an idea, all right? Is that hard? Challenging, difficult, you like, you don't like? All right, yes, yep.
Was that only
Caesar has
for,
the hand, you have a finger, do it right, no problem.
oh,
Go ahead.
was that only for Maryland?
Yes, that's the one for Maryland. You
Okay.
got some other areas, just honestly, folks, Google is your best friend for some of this stuff. Visit your state sites, start digging around. There are resources you're going to get. Chloe, do you guys have HomeSnap up there?
I have never heard of it.
Okay. So HomeSnap isn't connected to everybody. Those of you in Maryland, you know, we have HomeSnap connected to Bright MLS. Yes. Yes. You all have the HomeSnap app on your phone. If you do not, you need to download it. Understand that HomeSnap is a consumer-facing app as well as an agent app. So those of you that don't know this, make sure you're signing into it as an agent, because you're going to get access to documents and everything like that, just like you do if you were on online. So I'm going to jump into HomeSnap real quick because I want to make sure it's still here, because it used to be here and now I got to double check it because I don't want to make a saying and be wrong. Yep. So in HomeSnap, when you scroll the listing, you have to open the listing, and when you scroll the listing, you get down to where it says property lines. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says property lines, then it says open map. This used to, and it still does, I didn't think they would take this way. If you're at the property and you open HomeSnap, you open the listing and you go to the map, down in the bottom right-hand corner, see if I can get you guys to see that. See that little thing right there? There's an airwalk. You can actually hit the airwalk on that, and it will tell you where you're at on the property, and you hold the phone out flat and you can actually physically walk the boundaries. Now, again, it's not going to be exact. It's going to be enough to give your people an idea if they're super detailed. I personally have never had anybody that super detailed about a boundary unless I'm dealing with farms. So it's still a good question. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking that away from you. Just keep in mind, there are ways to pull up the boundaries on that stuff. All right. I want to hit on this last one down here. I won't feel safe. Do any of you ever have that sensation with open houses or given that any thought? It's okay to say yes. Matter of fact, every single one of you, man and woman, should say yes. Okay. Double up on open houses, especially if you feel like it's in an area that you definitely are uncomfortable with. I had an agent in my coaching group. She was in downtown Frederick. Yes, downtown Frederick's got some good and bad parts. And she was doing an open house on a second floor like condo in one of the like row buildings there. And I stopped by to check on her. I parked out front. I happened to notice a guy on the street corner just did not look right. I went inside, I got upstairs, I walked around the unit to check it out myself. And in about 3 minutes, he came burrowing through the front door. Very odd, very uncomfortable. I wasn't in the front when he came through at first. I came out of a back room when I heard somebody come in. And when he saw me, his demeanor changed just a little bit. He continued to walk through this unit. He went out one of the back doors that has a back set of steps to this unit and went down and outside. I saw him get confrontational with people that live in this building in the back parking lot. So needless to say, I stuck around the rest of the time she was there. And we both firmly believe that if I was not there, this may not have gone the way that it went. So if you ever get that spidey sense, follow it, please. Your safety is more important than anything else. Fair? Kate, I have a friend who does not walk down the basement with clients during an open house. She stands at the entrance and tells folks to go down the basement themselves. Whatever you got to do, be safe. There are a lot of programs out there from your local boards and NAR about realtor safety when it comes to open houses. It is one of our most vulnerable places, as well as when you are meeting clients for the first time. We never meet them at the house for the first time. We make sure you're meeting them in your office or in some public location to find out who they are. Fair enough? Safety, safety, safety. Can't preach it enough. All right, benefits of an open house. They are very inexpensive. They got a high ROI, meaning that it doesn't take much for you to market for them. It doesn't take a lot of effort or a lot of money, I should say, and you get better leads on the return. It is a great prospecting tool because we get to do the circle prospecting and talking to the neighbors and inviting the neighbors. One of the things we talk about also is doing a neighbor open house. So if you're doing an open house, say from 12 to 2, 12 to 3, you should go out and door knock the neighborhood and invite the neighbors to come see the home between 10 and 12. Let them come in before the public, so you have interest there, you have their undivided attention to be able to talk to them. What's the benefit of having the neighbors come to the house, to the open house, and hang out?
If they're thinking of selling, they're gonna want to go with you.
Or the thing about selling right now is your chance to get in front of them, no matter who they've already spoken to. Right? How we present ourselves. You all have heard the saying of first impressions are a lasting impression, right? Hopefully I made a good impression to you all. At least 29 of you came back, right? Because you're here today. So that's the most important part. That first impression you're going to make is going to make everything the way it needs to be. Sorry, I had the door open for the dogs and realized it's raining and blowing against the back of the house. Got to close the door. So make sure you're making those first impressions and using it to your best ability for lead generation. The lead generation is where this is at all the time. All right. Yes, you will say we were in there earlier about open houses are to sell that listing. No, they're not. They're there for you to make more contacts and generate more business. Can you sell a listing at an open house? Absolutely, you can. That's not our goal. It's just not. We're trying to lead generate an open house. Open house best practices. Be purposeful, not entrepreneurial. Make sure you have a plan around it. I tell everybody, no matter what you're going to do, you guys asked about smart plans earlier, brought those up. If you're going to get a smart plan or create a smart plan, write yourself an outline. What is my goal? How long do I want the smart plan to run? Figure out a brief outline before you start building it. Same thing with your open house, right? We got to pick the right open house. What is the right open house to you guys? Let me ask that question. Since we're back at this, what's the right open house to you guys?
Well, you got a lot of numbers. Oh, and what do you mean by that?
What's the right open house? What
One
house?
that just hit the market.
One that just hit the market, is fresh in the market. If I'm
The
picking
house-
a house, what's the best house I want to pick? Stephanie?
The house I have listed.
The house you have listed. If you have listings, then yeah, that's your house. You want to do that one. If you don't have listings, you're doing someone else's. How do you pick the right open house?
The best location.
Kate keeps it so simple. She's like, where am I going to get the most leads? Okay. Well, if you run any open house correctly, you're going to get leads no matter what. Location is good. I like that one. Who said that? Zoe? Is that you?
Yeah.
So we're the location. What else? There's other aspects of this that are even more simpler than that.
New to the market.
New to the market. Keep going. One more, one big one. It's probably the more important one in the bottom line.
Priced right.
Price range.
There we go. What price point do you want to be in? Because remember, whatever price point you're hosting the open house at, that's the price point of the leads you're gonna get, right? Where are my Baltimore City people? Or my DC people? Kate, love you, 700 and higher. There you go. She's in the luxury world. If you want to be in luxury, do those open houses. Lauren, you're Baltimore County, you're going to have a couple of these, but not as many. If you're down to that 150 to 250, do you want to do those open houses? The house has still got to get sold. Somebody's got to live in it. Is that the price point you want to live in? Because if you do the open house, you're going to get more people that are in that price point. So make sure you're being purposeful about your price point when you're picking these houses out, right? Considering inviting speakers such as a home inspector or a lender. I've never done this. I know some people have, and for certain homes, I think this could work. The benefit would be you have a home inspector walking around, and when people ask questions, he or she is not going to actually do an inspection, yet they can give general information about, hey, just because an appliance is worn doesn't mean it needs to be replaced. It's outside of its life expectancy, yet it's still functional. There's nothing wrong with it. And if you continue to care for it, it can last for several more years. This would be a budgeting item that you need to be prepared in order to eventually probably replace, but it's not a now type thing. So there can be benefits to having the inspector there. The lender is great to have there if you can get one. However, you better make sure it is a successful open house. The benefits of the lender is what?
Provide information regarding loans.
That's one. There's one even better than that. You're on the right track.
Talking to people.
On the spot pre-approval.
Yeah.
Break open their laptop, take their information, and start the pre-approval process. Most lenders can give you a rough pre-approval or pre-qualification within 15 to 20 minutes. All right. Lauren, how do I feel about brokers open? They just come for the food. That's it. They just come for the food. It can be useful if you got a house that's been on the market for a long time and you're really struggling with it. If you get the right people to show up and they actually give you information. Broker opens I've done in the past, I feel like they just came for the food. Don't get me wrong, I've had good food at brokers opens, right? Pick the time and theme. Thursday night, like I said, there you go, Thursday night happy hour, wine and cheese open house, a Sunday afternoon. Don't have limiting beliefs around open houses. People are going to shop. Mother's Day is coming. Who's running the? Oh, but where she finds stuff that she wants. Who's going to go to an open house on Mother's Day? Chloe. We just talked about mom. Mom needs to go to one on Mother's Day. Chloe and I had a conversation.
That can be her gift.
There you go. Right. That exactly. Take her on a tour of all the open houses. There you go. That's
Oh yeah, all
Mother's
day.
But still, there's nothing wrong with Mother's Day, right? I really probably would steer away from Super Bowl Sunday and things like that because people they're really like out doing their thing. But other holidays, there's no reason why you can't do it, right?
My mom's making fun of you. She said steer away from Super Bowl Sunday, but not Mother's Day.
Other way around.
Oh, other way around. Sorry.
Oh, steer away from Mother's Day, not Super Bowl Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on now. Hold on. Wait, is she gonna come over and yell at me directly? That's gonna be fun, guys. Hold on.
No,
if
she
Dad
just
has to do
stood
all
there
the
like-
cooking, we can take you to open houses and get you to buy an open house. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Prepare your stats, folks. This goes throughout this entire program. You need to know your stats. You need to know your market. You need to know what's going on in your market. What's one of the best ways possible for you to learn your market the fastest? Are we gonna fight? Well, okay. Just, I'll be up this week. I'll be up this weekend. All right.
He said we can do that on Mother's Day if I'm buying her the house.
Oh, all right, fair enough. What's the best way for you to learn your market, Kim?
Go just look at houses around there, like on the MLS, and like just, are you talking about like pricing the market?
everything. You need to know your market. You need to know Westminster. Chloe needs to know where she is in New York. Brooke needs to know Cincinnati. Caesar needs to know Frederick. Mara Cruz needs to know Frederick, Montgomery County, wherever her area is going to be. Same with Lauren and everybody else. I saw a couple of people in the comments, Baltimore County, Baltimore City, wherever you are, you need to know what's going on in your market. What's the fastest way for you to learn your market? And look like you're super busy, which is going to make people want to get to know you. Lauren's on top of it. Agent previews. Damon, is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and also get involved with like local places and stuff like that.
Very good. Agent previews and open houses are your best way to learn the market, right? Also, when you're getting ready for these open houses, please talk to the listing agent, and as I said, and schedule an agent preview at least by Monday or Tuesday. You need to walk through the house and know the house inside and out. Don't walk into that house on Saturday, 5 minutes before the open house, and have somebody come in and go, when was this built? Oh, hold on, I don't know. Where's it at on this darn piece of paper? Oh, there, 2000, no, wait, that's something else. 2012. No, we're not doing that. Know the stats on the house, know the important questions that people are going to ask. There are going to be some you're not going to be ready for, yet if you know the house well enough, you should be ready for almost anything. Lauren.
Do other agents get annoyed when people do agent previews?
Yes and no.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. Understand, and then folks, Chloe, sorry, I'm talking about my Maryland, DC people here, because I know that. When you are doing an agent preview, when you are scheduling it, you guys might not know this, when showing time pops up, here's a drop down. It says showing. Click on the drop down because there are options in there: inspections, appraisals, agent preview. Always make sure you're doing an agent preview. If you schedule a showing, the listing agent thinks you're taking a buyer out there, and they're going to be calling you and saying, what did your buyers think? Especially if the house hasn't moved and they're dying for an offer. And then you have to go, oh, I didn't take a buyer. I just went out to check it out myself. Make sure you're scheduling as an agent preview. Daniel, this is when you schedule showings through Bright, which then when you go into Bright to schedule a showing, it's doing it through showing time. So really, you're actually scheduling a showing through showing time. So showing time, when you go to schedule it, there's a drop down that tells you what type of showing you are going on. All right. You guys technically should be scheduling your inspections. 99.9% of us don't do that because we just tell the listing agent, hey, I'll be there Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And they go, okay, great. Do you still need the combo? Nope, I got it. You know, or it's on Central Lock, whatever the case may be. Agent previews will keep you out of trouble, Lauren. And if they complain, then just say, dude, I did an agent preview, leave me alone. Or the other caveat is, look, I did an agent preview because I had somebody that I thought might be interested, but I didn't want to tell them until I looked at it. And after I looked at it, it's not going to work for them, but thanks anyways. So be ready for that just in case. Or yes, as Kate said, tell Matt Burgess that it's okay. I don't mind taking a heat. I've taken a lot of it. All right. Wow, look at this. Y'all want to take a notice on something? I'm going to go back for a second on these slides real quick. Set goals. How many lines of words do you see there? Be purposeful, not entrepreneurial, right? Next slide. Pick the right house. Think about your market numbers. Prepare and practice. Consider inviting a speaker. Pick the time. Know your stats. How important is this slide? There's more on this slide than the other slide. Please be safe, folks. Use a buddy system. Arrive early. Park on the street. Check all entrances. Never let yourself get locked in. Turn on all the lights. Check for local COVID guidelines. This is a bit of an older deck, but still, you never know. Check with the sellers. That's another thing. You got to find out the sellers, how they feel about that. Some people still want you practicing that stuff. Follow market center guidelines and checklists for open house. Also, inside of showing time, are you guys aware there is a safety feature that you can start a showing time counter? And at the end of that counter, if you haven't shut that down, the system will automatically call your emergency contacts. If you are not aware of that, look into that, because you should use that at your open houses as well. So it calls somebody. And at the very least, make sure you're letting a fellow agent know, hey, I'm doing an open house at 123 Main Street, and I should be done by 2 o'clock. Can you check on me about an hour into it? I don't feel unsafe. I just want to make sure I'm being safe. Make sure someone calls you or you call them, and just check in periodically through the open house. Now, if you're super busy, a quick text like I'm swamped, I could use some help. Maybe they can come help you, right? But don't forget that check-in. Fair? Any ahas out of this so far? How we
I have a
feeling?
question, if that's all right.
Good.
So with the backslide, the one where it said park on the streets, where else could someone park that should not be parking in? Like where the front of their lot is?
Park on the street. Well, you don't want to park in the driveway, is what this is. Parking in the driveway blocks you in, because if another car comes in, they can block you in. And if you need to run out of the house and get in your car and run away in a safety feature, you don't want to be blocked in by another car in the driveway. So you want to park on the street or somewhere where you can't be blocked in. That's the purpose behind that in the safety aspect. Make sense? Because if I park in the driveway and somebody pulls up right against my bumper and I can get out of the house, once I get to my car, I'm still screwed. Now I can sit there and blow my horn and maybe the neighbors will come or whatever. I'm still going to be a bit safer. You still want to be able to get in the car, start it, and drive away. So make sure you're parked in a place that you can actually get away if need be. Make sense?
Thanks.
Kate, thank you very much. Safety, safety, safety. Anything else from that set?
I have a question, Matt.
Miss Shannon, what you got?
Can a listing agent dictate how you market the property?
If you're holding it for somebody else?
Yes.
Yes and no. Yes, if there are rules from the list from the seller. That's why we talk to the seller about what can I do and what can I do. I wouldn't put it past some listing agents that if you're going to market it, you have to market it with their branding because it's their house and they want, they want the leads and stuff like that. I probably wouldn't do it if that was the case. So if you got somebody that's really restricting you, I probably wouldn't want to work with them because they're not helping you. The whole point behind helping another agent do an open house is to get it sold, and it's their opportunity to help you grow your business. And if they're going to be that particular about it, then maybe they should just hold the open house themselves. I have not seen anybody restrict you from doing anything. I haven't. Yet I could, asking that question is making me think. I could see it being a bit of an issue. I can't see it being a major one where it would happen all the time.
Got it. Thank you.
And if it is happening, talk to somebody about it. All right.
Okay.
Secondary to that, now that you said that, because I haven't mentioned it, when you're doing an open house, has anybody done a paid showing or anything like that where somebody says, hey, can you show a property for me and I'll pay you $50 to go show this property? You guys know that's an option out there. Like agents do ask that to happen. It happens everywhere, right? At an open house, your payment is the leads. So if you're going to host an open house and you got a listing agent, Shannon, you made me think of this. If you're doing an open house and the listing agent is like, they're all my leads, I'm not doing the open house because the whole reason I'm going is for the leads. If I can't have the leads, then I don't want to do it. That's not fair to me. That's just me wasting my time and not getting anything out of it. So make sure make sure you have that agreement clear up front. Fair? All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to get through this because I want to get into social media because I know most of you want to hear about social media, right? What's more important to you right now, social media or open houses? No.
For me, it should be
You're
social
right,
media.
Kate. What'd you say, Margaret?
I said for me, I think it's social media because I haven't been successful in open houses for some reason. I have hosted probably 4 since I got licensed, and I just haven't been successful with those. I haven't
Alright.
had any like true lead or anything like that. So I'm not
Alright.
so crazy about open houses.
So I'm going to kind of transition into social media without the slide deck at this point, okay? Because this right here is where social media comes into play. One of the other number one things you need to do is if you're going to host an open house, you need to know at least a week in advance. And when I say a week in advance, that means all of you tonight or tomorrow are going to start asking agents who has a house coming to the market that I can host an open house for next weekend, not in 2 days from now, 3 days from now, the following weekend, because I need to be able to prepare for it, as you see here. This select the house on Monday, you should be selecting the house the Friday before. So this coming weekend, you should be talking to everybody in your market center and find out who has a house you can market for and do an open house for the following weekend, or a twilight happy hour on Thursday. Because the longer, the more advanced notice you have, the better you're going to market for it. So in here, in short, we'll stick with this though in general, but the sooner you can get the open house and start marketing, the better you're going to be. Monday, you're selecting the house. Tuesday, you're posting it online. You need to increase the social media. Start putting it out there. Walk the neighborhood. Invite the neighbors to the pre-showing. The neighbors come between 10 and 12 or 10 and 11. The open house starts at 11. I'm giving you guys an early option. Wednesday, we're posting it online again. You're going to put your yard sign out there. On Thursday, we're posting it online again. We're inviting our database, whether that's a bulk email, a bulk text message, maybe some phone calls to your current and past clients, whomever that needs to be. Friday, we're posting online again. We're going to prepare our market stats. We want to know what's going on in the community. We want to start printing flyers, and we're going to start door knocking. That's for a Saturday open house. If there's a Sunday open house, you're going to do exactly this. You're just going to add a second door knocking and get more doors on Saturday to prepare for Sunday. If you're doing open houses both days, you're door knocking Friday for Saturday, you're door knocking Saturday for Sunday. And yes, you can door knock some of the same doors, particularly if you didn't get an answer. Make sense? Don't worry, Kate, it was coming. I was waiting for you to do it. I was going to mention it a minute ago. So for those that didn't see, Kate needs her 5. So we're going to take that 5 for everybody, a literal 5, because we got 45 minutes left. So by the time you get back, we're going to have 40. And I'm going to get through the last couple things on the open house we need to do. And then I'm going to deep dive into social media for you real quick. All right. So everybody take 5. Lauren, I'll get your question when we come back. Is that good? Don't forget it. All right. Take 5. All right, everybody back? Are we here? Kate, you're missing everything. I just gave the greatest thing ever and you missed it. I'm kidding. Keep in mind, folks, I would love to see everybody. Kate's awesome. Yeah. She's like, I know you. I don't care. Don't come back and leave your camera off. I like seeing people. Otherwise, I feel like I'm talking to nobody. And well, I do that enough. Let's just be honest with one another. The dogs don't listen. All right, so I'm going to address a couple things while we wait for a couple more people to get in here. Turn the cameras back on and join us back in here. Question in the chat is, where do we find market statistics? Here in Maryland, MAR. Well, hello, Lauren. Welcome. NAR and NAR, National, Maryland, and your local boards. The stats all come out around the mid-month, 15, 16, 17. So if you're going to use big stats, you want to wait on their stats and their graphics, by all means, get their information about mid-month. Your challenge, those are the stats for the previous month. Your challenge with that is you do open houses every weekend. So you need to learn how to go into Bright MLS and pull your own stats for a community, because the only stats they're going to care about is where that house is located at for the most part. So get into Bright. You can actually, well, all right, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of Bright's training. I just never have been. I don't feel like it's maybe it's the organization. The content's not bad. It's just the organization of finding it. But learn how to use Bright, where you can go and pull stats on a neighborhood. Stat wise, how far back should you go on stats? To go a little bit deeper in that question, I wouldn't do any more than the past 30 to 60 days, because anything that happened 3 months ago is not the same market you're in right now, because we're transitioning so much and the market is shifting so much. What info should we put on our flyers? Obviously, if you're door knocking, you're putting the date of the open house, the time of the open house. Are there going to be any contests? Are you doing a raffle of some sort? So if you come and you visit the open house and you put your name in the fishbowl, we're going to draw out and somebody's going to win a $50 gift card or whatever that case may be. Hint, hint, wink, wink. This is where the vendors come into play. And dang it, I left them in my office, I think. Just so you guys know real quick, I learned this yesterday. Where are my Starbucks drinkers? Go figure. Knew that already. For my Starbucks drinkers, if you go and Google Starbucks business cards, yes, I said business cards. Starbucks has a B2B, a business to business site that you can create an account for, and you can order business cards from Starbucks. They are actually gift cards. They will cost you about $2 to make, but you can put your logo on it. You put your name, phone number, email, address. It's basically like having a business card. It is a Starbucks gift card. Now, again, they're up to $199. I think they're like $2 a piece. Plus, you got to put the money on it. I looked at it today. So for 20 cards, it would cost $140 to get $5 cards. Now, that is an investment you don't need to spend in. However, it's an investment you can put out and only give those away at, let's say, open houses. Best part about it is they got to go to Starbucks. It doesn't buy a nitro. I just thought about that. $5 doesn't even get me a nitro. Dang it. But Chloe's smiling because she knows what I'm talking about. All of you go to Starbucks. Now, don't turn that off. I see you. Stop it. But that could be your giveaway, right? And it's got your information on it. And you got to get it to them somehow. So we need names, we need addresses, we need phone numbers, we need emails. Giving something away in an open house is the best way to guarantee you're getting capturing information at an open house. All right, fair enough. It's just do a Google search, Starbucks business cards. I forget what the website is, but you'll see it. It will say Starbucks B2B, B2B. I just created my account today and I'm considering it. There's also a co-branding. So you can actually do one that'll put your logo on it. You can put a little bit of writing on it of some sort, whatever you want. And then you just have those to give away as well. So again, they're not something I'd want to do a lot of, yet it could be something to be for that person you're talking to that needs a little extra push. This gives a little extra personal touch, and it's valuable to them. It's something they can physically use rather than just having a conversation. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Well, here we go. What clients like to know: community and neighborhood information, relocation information, first-time buyer specifics, mortgage details. This is where your mortgage lender comes in to talk about what the mortgage is like, what the market's like right now. The market's forever changing right now, so it's important to be able to have those conversations. This is also the stuff you're going to put on social media. Lead capture, I want to go back. Lead capture is the biggest thing in this. Who wants to do a little role play? Who wants to do a little role play conversation with me and practice door knocking? Come on, come on, come on, somebody. You guys know how to make the guy feel special. God, have some mercy on the old man, for goodness sakes, please. All right, CZ, ready?
I hope. Yeah, probably.
All right, so you guys are curious about your door knocking aspect, your prospecting aspect, all right? And I know I got to get into social media. I promise I'm going to jump into some next. But this is something big that I talk about a lot. I did put in the chat my office, my address, the time of the class tomorrow. If you guys are local and want to come to it, come. If you want to attend virtually, reach out to me directly, because I will record it, which means I will have Zoom on. So if some of you, I will open it up only to you on here. Only to you on here. You must contact me directly. If enough of you want to attend this open house class tomorrow, I will put it on Zoom and I will invite you by Zoom. All right, so I'm knocking on Caesar's door. So knock. He comes to the door, and what do you say when you come to the door?
Hello, who is this?
Hey, how are you doing? My name's Matt. I'm a local realtor in the area, and I'm walking the neighborhood today because I don't know if you noticed, but the Joneses house is for sale up the street, up here at 123 Main Street. And I'm hosting an open house this weekend. And I wanted to talk to the neighbors because I feel it's important to share when people come to the open house what other people like about the neighborhood. So if you don't mind, I'd be curious, how long have you lived in the neighborhood? What made you choose to live in this neighborhood?
Well, I only lived here for about 2 years now, but came to this neighborhood since it seemed like it would have been a good neighborhood to be in. It didn't seem like it was going to be too rowdy. So we moved in and it seems to be going well so far.
Okay, so I heard you say rowdy. So you're like looking at like, there's no parties going on. So I'm actually in the wrong neighborhood for me, but everyone else is going to like it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a party guy, so that kind of happens for me. However, I appreciate that. Other than it just being kind of a quiet neighborhood, is there anything else you were looking at specifically when you were purchasing your home? And by the way, welcome to the neighborhood. I love the fact you've been here 2 years. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. When you brought up the statement of what else it is that I was looking for, it would have seen the price of the house and also the size that it provided. There was other houses that had somewhat of a fine price, but then they were too small. So this one seemed just right.
Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing is you're married to Goldilocks, and we went from too firm to too soft to just right. All right, fair enough. By the way, folks, I would say something like that. I did a national role play today, and one of the people that on the role play actually used a variation, not of that. Yet she's like, I don't know. Like, you can say whatever you want, people, as long as your energy's right. And I probably would say that to somebody like this. All right, well, you know what? I appreciate you giving me that information. By the way, what is your name?
My name is Cesar.
Cesar, I really appreciate you taking the time to share that with me. And
you said you were managing the open house nearby, you said?
Yeah, I'm actually the open house is tomorrow at 12 o'clock. The other thing I was going to offer is I'm inviting neighbors to come by and check it out, because I also feel it's important for neighbors to be able to have an opportunity to pick their neighbors. And what I mean by that is there anybody that you know that has thought about moving into this neighborhood like you did? I mean, you've been here 2 years. I'm sure you shared the joy and excitement about what you experienced in the neighborhood. Is there anybody you know that might be looking to move in this neighborhood as well?
Well, right now I can't say that I know anyone, but I'd say I'll probably keep in mind with your statement with providing help if in case. Is there any way I can get in contact with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I appreciate you thinking about that. Let me get you my business card real quick. No coworkers or family or friends or, anybody from the gym or anything like that you can think of off the top of your head that might be looking to move into the community?
No, I really can't say at the moment. They seem to
Okay,
go
good.
Yeah.
Cesar, I really appreciate you taking the time to think about it. By the way, here's my business card. If you want to stop by, I'm doing an early open from 11 to 12, and we're going to start the public open at 12. If you want to stop by and check it out and kind of compare it to yours. By the way, you're probably going to be a little shocked at where the price is now compared to when you bought 2 years ago. So that way you know where the market's going in the community. So when it's time for you to move on to your next adventure in your life, you kind of got an idea what's happening. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, and by the way, if you think of anybody between now and Saturday, why don't you give them a call and tell them to come by as well? They can come with you during the preview for the neighbors.
All right. I'll keep in mind with that then.
All right. Awesome. I appreciate your time. I'll see you at the open house.
Thank you.
All right. Comments, feedback, thoughts? Because I know one of you is going to ask that question about, well, what do I say when I door knock? Go ahead, Chloe.
So I was told that in my area we're not allowed to door knock.
Okay.
What are like good other ways to like let the neighbors know ahead of time about the open house?
So this goes back into the planning. Lauren, I'm coming to you next. I saw your hand pop. She's got this. I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. I don't know if there's, check your meds tonight. So your next best bet on that is being on top of the open house sooner than later, right? Because the sooner you can get on there, the better off you're going to be. And Kate, I appreciate that because I'm going to ask that question next, actually. You can't door knock. Can you actually put flyers on the door? Like you can't approach doors at all, or?
We can do the flyers. I'm
Okay.
actually have some being ordered, but like, the ones I'm ordering are like business. It just is like a business card on a door handle. Should
Okay.
I get like once? I feel like with that, it'd have to be more specific to where the open house is.
So
Like,
cost is your biggest thing and time to print. So here's your challenge. And I want you to think this through. Can you let them out real quick? What can you create in a door hanger that will allow you to use it in any open house situation?
I feel like
Think about that. Anyone else?
What was the question?
What can I create as a door hanger that I can use at every single open house without having to order new ones? I can go order 2,000 of them, and yet I can still use them at every open house.
Maybe saying there's an open house in your neighborhood, contact this number for more information.
You're on the right path. Anyone else? I see pens. Okay. Cards. Okay. Here's my thought. You have a standard open house door hanger for you because you're challenged in not being able to door knock. I can print flyers with the specific address on it at my office and door knock and put that out. I don't have to do any special ordering. If you're going to do some type of door hanger, then I'm going to have a generic open house in your neighborhood, and I'm going to have blank lines where I can sit down and take a Sharpie and write the address and the date and the time. I can order 2,000 of those and do that all day long. Time consuming for me to write down the date and all that stuff. Yes. Well, guess what? I can also do that while I'm walking the neighborhood. So I can write out my first 20. I know I'm gonna at least hit 20 doors. I'll bring extra. If I hit 20 doors real quick and I want to hit some more, I'll bring my Sharpie and I'll stand there, hang it, walk into the next one, hang it, and just do it like that. That would be my suggestion for you. Make sense?
What are you hanging it with?
Door hangers. Or postcard of
Okay.
some sort or something like that. Whatever you can do. And I would leave blank lines on it with like address, date, time. And all you got to do is fill in those 3 things. Everything else is generic. To learn more, contact me, your information and all that stuff like that. Right. So Lauren, you had your hand up before I went to Chloe. So, or just as I was going. So what was your input?
I was gonna say that was really good. I feel like when I have went door knocking, it was more so me just inviting the neighbors to come to the open house, but I didn't go with asking them questions about like the neighborhood and what they liked about the neighborhood to give to the people who are coming. So that was pretty good.
I got pretty good. I normally get better than pretty good.
I thought that was awesome.
All right, I'm teasing. So, but seriously, this is the way that the scripts are going to work. Your conversation is going to work. You have to know what to ask and how to ask them, right? Same thing applies to your social media. What do you put on social media? You got to make it worthwhile, right? The number one rule in social media is you got to stop the scroll, right? I do this a lot. All my TikTokers, raise your hand. Just everybody just put it up right now. I know every single one of you is doing it. You can deny it until the cows come home. Okay, fine. Where are my Instagram reel? Where are my Instagram reel people? Right? If you're on Instagram doing reels or on Facebook watching the reels, you're doing TikTok. My mother is still trying to convince my father of that. He doesn't think he's TikToking, but he is. Okay. Do those for your social media as well. Make a reel. Your best friend right now is going to be something along the lines of CapCut. It's just one of the apps you can use. I'm a big fan of CapCut right now. They're not the only ones. They're one of the ones. CapCut actually has a teleprompter built into it. Everybody knows what a teleprompter is? That's where the words scroll on the screen so you can still read it and video it at the same time so you don't mess up. Less takes, more success. All right? Okay, Kate's, look, I'm going to introduce you to my dad, Kate. Can't do TikTok, but can do reels. It's the same thing. By the way, every one of you has ADHD. I'm just going to let you know that right now. Every one of you. All right. Let's get into some of this social media stuff real quick. If you guys don't mind staying a minute or two late to get through a little bit more and answer questions, I don't mind either. But I do want to get you out of here as close to on time as possible. You know I want to do that for you. Any questions about open houses? Hearing none, gavel rings, you're guilty.
I have a
All right,
question.
good.
So
Say-
with the amount of
I say no more questions and they go, oh, I got a question. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, say something.
with the amount of open houses that I hear people are doing, it sounds like there's always a constant flow of them. Where is it so by asking agents, but then to constantly get open houses, how is that possible?
So I wouldn't say there's a constant flow of them. I think that's a good question. And in today's market, many of your listing agents are actually wanting to do them right now. Some of our top producing agents are starting to feel the shift. So in order for them to maintain their business level and their unit level and their income level, they're doing their open houses. There are others out there that are still giving away open houses. Mary Cruz mentioned she wasn't having success in open houses. You know what? Maybe open houses just aren't your thing, Mary Cruz. Don't hate me for it. I coach Mary Cruz, so I can say that. However, it might not be, right? Maybe open houses is your thing. Door knocking is not everybody's thing. Some of you, you're going to love it. You're going to have success at it. You got to find what makes you happy and what can get you done in your business and get you the results you need. Open houses are a challenge. I can tell you that right now, particularly in our area. If you were to go start asking agents if you could do an open house for them, you might be a little hard pressed for it because so many people are getting them early. Here's how you beat the early aspect. First, you build relationships with the agents in your office. Number one, you have to have those relationships with your producing agents. You want to know the ones that are running all the listings. I just spoke to one of my top agents in Columbia. Her goal this year is 121 units. I asked her where she was on her goal. As we're going into the second quarter, guess where she's at? In the 30s. And it's the start of the second quarter. I can go to her and I can get an open house if I want to. Other agents in that office know they can go to her and get open houses. Here's your challenge though. You better make sure it's a darn good open house. Listing agents will start judging you if you're not running a good open house. Because you're not bringing in the business, because they're all about bringing in business. All right. You have to be able to build a relationship. Secondary to that, go into the coming soons and see what's coming soon. Agents that are going in coming soon, they have it in coming soon. You need to be on top of it for everybody else. Most agents, especially new agents, forget about coming soon status. They're waiting for a property to go active. Then they're reaching out and saying, hey, speaking of hey, that was a hard judge by you. You're not wrong, but still. This is why the camera on is fun, people. All right. She hates me by the end of this. You better be glad next week's my last time. She's gonna be so happy for me to be gone. Coming soon status is your best friend because you're gonna know before everybody else. Everyone else is waiting for it to go active and go, oh, hey, I saw you put this active. And if you get to it first, guess what? The agent's gonna go, sorry, somebody else is already doing it. And in our market, in our area of Maryland, DC, we're still getting houses sold within 10 days or so. Some are still going pretty quick. So you really got to be on top of your houses and what you want. All right. Dominic, I see you're unmuted. Did you have something, or were you just like sitting there waiting? No. Okay. All right, let's talk social media for a couple minutes because this is the biggest thing you can do. So in Ignite, I'm going to teach you two things. So in Ignite, we have the 10-5-1 system of engagement. All right. All right, I got two people that are hitting me up for my class tomorrow. I think I put my information in the beginning of this, by the way, just so you guys know. Did I? No, that was another Zoom I did today. Sorry. I will re-put my information in there just so you guys have it. Real quick while I talk about this 10-5-1, because this is what you guys are supposed to be doing all the time. So if you guys want to be on this, I promise you I'm going to forget, especially from the chat, and the chat doesn't save to me. It goes to the owner of the account. Shoot me a text or shoot me an email, please. And I will get it out to you tomorrow when I create it. And I will do my best to make sure it's early. Just know we're starting at 12 o'clock. All right. 10-5-1 system. This is what you guys should be doing on a regular basis in order to generate followers and leads. All right. Again, best on your return. It's free. You can do paid ads. Don't get me wrong. You can do paid ads. They're inexpensive and do generate business. So 10 likes or loves every single day. You need to be going in and doing at least 10 likes or loves, some emoji to some post someplace, at least 10. Okay. The 5 is 5 comments. My recommendation is you're commenting on 5 of the posts you put the like on. Okay. And then your 1 is you are going to share direct message or an original post. So you're either going to reshare something somebody else put out there. Go look for your motivational people, the morning people. Who are the morning people here that have all that motivational stuff that they put out there? It's not me. Don't come to my pages. All right. You might see it in the afternoon or the evening. The best you're going to get out of me in the morning is a cup of coffee. All right. So you're going to want to share something. You're going to direct message somebody, or you're going to do your own original post. Question has been raised in the past that if you are using a pre-made image, such as something from Designs inside a Command, or if you're using what I call a live picture, which is, we're going to do it right now just for you guys, right? Just because. I need all the cameras on, right? So this is me teaching Ignite. That's a terrible picture, by the way. I might redo it before we're done. That's what we call a live photo. The algorithm can tell the difference between a picture that was taken on your phone and a picture or an image that was designed on some platform. If it is a live picture coming from your phone, the algorithm likes it and actually will do more with it. All right. So your best bet is to do an original post over any of the other stuff. Okay. Now I'm going to teach you another system that supposedly does even better. So the other system is called the rule of 5s. Has anybody heard of the rule of 5s when it comes to social media? Are they laughing at me or you? That's all I want to know.
I'm laughing at her
Okay.
getting in the camera stuff.
All right.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're one of the few with the camera, Chloe. That's all I'm saying is, and you're helping keep me entertained to keep my energy up. So I thank you. Thank your mother too. Look, Diamond, where you at? Come off mute, girl. Let's have that conversation. So somebody knows the rule of 5s.
Yeah, so 5 posts, 5 likes, 5 comments.
That's it. There's one other step in there though, which increases the algorithm. So your 5 posts is actually 1 post.
Okay.
You're on track, okay? And I like what you said, 5 posts, 5 likes, 5 comments. The actual rule of 5s that really breaks the algorithm, particularly for Facebook, is 5 comments. So let me start at the very beginning. I don't want to confuse it. The rule of 5s is 5 every morning. First off, this is every single morning. 5 minutes before you post. 5 minutes before you put a post up, first thing in the morning, you are going to comment on 5 people's pages. I would recommend searching for people that you haven't seen on your feed in a while to open up that algorithm to get more people, because the more you see, the more they see you. So you're going to find 5 people and you're going to comment on 5 people's pages. When you comment, you must use 5 words or more. So all you people that are doing your birthday post, don't just say happy birthday, put more words and more emojis in there, make it as long as you can. That's what gets the algorithm going as well. All right. 5 posts, 5 words or more, 5 minutes before you post, then you do your live post. Here's the best part about your live post, people. Well, let me ask this question before I give you that. How many of you, let's start simple. Who are the social media gurus? Who love social media and post on social media all the time? By the way, it's not me. I'm very hit and miss. I'm very unstable with it. I don't do it. All right. Zoe, not me. Rule number 1. If you are not a big social media person, it's okay. If you don't think you're ever going to become that social media person, it's okay. So what I would recommend you do is you find another way to lead generate, because you need to lead generate. And social media is one of your best lead generation tools as far as cost goes, right? We did your contacts last week. Remember I talked about the 201 plus, and I told you how many people on your phone, 6%. You guys remember that? How much money should you be making every year, right? Maricruz, I have no idea. That's what somebody has figured out and taught us. The 5 minutes before. That's just part of the rule of 5s. 5 minutes before you do it, you do these activities and then you post. It has something to do with how you interact with these people. And then when you post, your post is seen by more people. So you're boosting your post before you even post, because you're creating activity around your account. And then when you post, your post should see more than it would see. It was kind of a double something.
Do you know when is the right time to post? I mean, when is the right time to post?
Yeah, Google it. You're going to get a couple different answers. Same thing when it comes to emails. I have found out that if you send emails out during the week, bulk emailing between 8 and 10 p.m., your interactions are greater. How many of you believe that to be true? How many thought that was an option? By the way, Maricruz, I think the last time I looked at Google, your best posting was between 3 and 5, I think. The whole point is where is a person's mindset that they're no longer working and they are attentive to what's going on. Lunchtime is not the time. Even though most people at lunch are scrolling, they're also in la la land. So you want the post to be seen, yet you don't want the post to be ignored. Does that make sense? So just do a quick Google and see what you find out. Most of the Googling I've done on that has given me pretty much the same answer. And you're either going to post in the morning or you're going to post in the early evenings, if I remember right. I have it written down someplace. I just haven't done it recently. All right. Christina, look at your social media insights for posting times as well. Yes, that's the best thing about social media is they do give you insights on everything. So pay attention to those. That's one thing about Meta that I do like, is that it will give you information. Daniel, why is it called 10-5-1? Well, let me go back and I'll show you right there. You're doing 10 likes or 10 hearts. You're doing 5 comments, and you're doing 1 post. That's your 10-5-1. So if you're not following the rule of 5s, follow this. You need to be engaging on social media. If you're a social media person, I still tell people, if you're not a social media person, it's okay. You're going to have to double down on other stuff. My script that I use for you guys, my role play that I did with Cesar is thinking on your feet fast. Objection handling. I'm not doing any of those things. I'm huge into role play. I'm co-hosting a national role play right now on Mondays and Wednesdays that I'm involved in for another thing. And that's my realm. That's where I thrive at, negotiations in the role play. You need to be able to think fast on your feet. If you're somebody who does not think fast on your feet, it's okay. You got to double down on your studies and make sure you're studying your contracts, your scripts, your conversations, so that you're prepared for it. That's all. Same thing in your social media. You need to be ready to do stuff. Also, understand. Hold on. Kate's microphone's not working. Our market center has something called the Listing Club where we role play. It's awesome. I love that. Folks, by the way, you know what? I didn't see Jamie on here. Jamie, are you on here? You are not on here. So Jamie was quick to put everybody on a spreadsheet. Who actually contacted Jamie and got spreadsheets for you folks last week when we talked about it? Make sure you're connecting with people in this group. These are going to be your role play partners, right? Back to your social media though, real quick. Remember earlier I was talking about open houses and I talked about learning your market. You're out doing agent previews. You don't have a client with you. Guess what? The consumer doesn't know that. Take a picture. Out checking out homes in the neighborhood. Take a bunch of pictures. Remember, we already talked about the fact that there's a chance. Well, we do know it's a fact. The algorithm likes live photos from your phone over pre-made stuff. When you're out doing anything real estate related, take several pictures, because dual career people in particular, you need to do this more than anybody else. You could have a week-old photo that you're posting today. They don't know you went today. They don't know. They got no idea. They just know that you posted something about being involved in the business and doing something. Does that make sense? Here's the other thing too. I'm going to give you this because I got this from my team leader. This is the rule, 80-20. So 80-20 is our rule inside of KW. How many have heard the 80-20 principle and understand that? All right. I lost a lot of cameras. I'm like sad too, by the way. All right. What is your favorite streaming or live TV program you're into? What reality show? I'm just going to put it out there. 80% of you are going to be in some reality show. You guys have a favorite channel? A favorite program you like to watch?
In TV?
You say MTV?
Like, no, like in TV.
Yeah, MTV. I thought you said MTV. I'm like, who watches MTV anymore? Yes, on television, right? What's your favorite program you watch? There's a reason I'm asking you a question. CNN. Okay, I got a CNN. That works. I don't mind. I don't care if it's a news channel. What's your favorite channel you watch, right? Or what's your favorite program you watch, right? Just think about it. I got one. I'll go with CNN. Who's your favorite on CNN, Kate? I appreciate that. I heard MTV also. All right, let's go with Law and Order. All right, Anderson Cooper. I can do Anderson Cooper or Law and Order. Let's go with those. Now, when you turn on Anderson Cooper and you turn on CNN, all right, I told you, there we go. Now we're starting to get realities. Marriage in Huntsville, HGTV. I'm not judging. Vanessa, we need to connect. I'll do the Food Network all day long. I don't care. All right, let me go back to this. Here's the principle. 80% personal, 20% business. Think of it like this. When you turn on your favorite TV show, are you turning in for your TV show or are you tuning in for the commercials? What are you watching that TV channel for? Your favorite show or the commercials? Thank you for the chat. You're turning in for your TV show, right? In your personal Facebook, your personal social media accounts. Facebook is your TV channel. Facebook is CNN. Facebook is HGTV. Facebook is whatever channel you're watching. You, Maricruz, Lauren, Shannon, Chloe, Dominique, Cesar, Zoe, Diamond, the ones I see on my screen right now. You are the TV show, and people are tuning in to watch you. They're not interested in your business. However, every TV show we watch, we have to suffer through commercials,
Commercials.
right? Guess what? Your real estate business is the commercials on your personal social media. Your people are going to stop paying attention to you. They're not going to want to talk to you if you overdo it on the business. Your business page, it's a completely different story. Your business page is now 80% business, 20% personal, or 100% business. Zoe, is the baby asleep?
I'm about to put him to sleep, so I have to hop off. But I wanted to ask you before I go, is there one social media platform over another that you would recommend investing more time in if you're not great at social media like myself?
That is a wonderful question. How many of you have that same question? Here's the rub on it, all right? Where do sellers live in social media, and where do buyers live on social media? Think about it like that.
Wait, what?
Where do sellers, where are you going to find more sellers? Which platform do you think you're going to find more sellers on? And which platform do you think you're going to find more buyers on? And why?
I would say sellers in Facebook, buyers Instagram.
Apparently, Mary Cruz has been to some of my classes in the past, and she paid attention and she remembered. Good for you. So yes, right? How many of you, I know I see a lot of the young people out there, Facebook is for, somebody say
Old
it,
people.
the old people. Thank you, Mary Cruz. The old people. And Instagram is for the young people. Who are your buyers most of the time?
Young people.
Your younger people are your buyers. Now, that's not dismissing your sellers, but I want to focus on my Facebook people for my sellers who are going to be a sell and buy, because when they sell, they got to go someplace, right? Daniel, Facebook equals old people equals seller, IG equals young people equals buyers. Y'all got that? Stop and think about it. I'm not judging any of you. I'm not judging any of you. What is your preferred platform?
MySpace.
Did you just say MySpace, Candace? I'm done with you. I'm out. I'm leaving. She just said MySpace, people. All right, but think about it. Think about who you are at your age point right now. What is your preferred platform, right? Look, Christina, IG and TikTok, right? Victoria, IG. Kim, Facebook. Sabrina,
Facebook.
Right? So now take your age bracket and stop and think. Do you fit a seller category or a buyer category? Now, some of you might be buyers, even though you're living in Facebook, because maybe some of you have never owned your own home, right? It's a possibility. I don't know. I'm not judging that in any way. Yet, the bulk of your buyers are going to be on Instagram. So your message can be different on both. So the question I would have for you, Zoe, is what kind of clients do you want? You want to focus on sellers? You want to focus on buyers? Jessica got a break. She's like, IG, Facebook. I'm equal across the board. Look at you. Could you use YouTube to promote various channels about real estate? Well, the answer simply is yes, and we'll simply answer that why. Mary Cruz, I just created an Instagram account and just learning how to use it. Excellent. All right. So YouTube, why is YouTube your next best thing? Kim, I didn't make you feel old. They did by saying, don't put that on me. I just said it, figure now, see. All right. YouTube. YouTube is a great way to build followers as well. Here's one of the main reasons why, and one of your main focuses when it comes to social media. I can get rid of this entire slide deck and have this conversation. Video. Why do you think TikTok is so important? or so popular, I should say. It's because of the video. You can get a message out in 15 to 30 seconds. You can get it. Well, what are we up to? What are we up to now on TikTok? 3 minutes? 5 minutes? What are we up to now on TikTok? Who knows? I don't even remember what we're up to right now. But either way, it's about the video. So yes, YouTube is another way to do it. What I would more suggest you to do on YouTube, well, this is not the class, and I know the class is coming up. Actually, it's not coming up. It's not one of these. Did we already do one? Nope. So one of the ones that's not in here, if you guys stay in touch with me, I'll let you know when I'm going to do this playbook as well, is seminars. Live Facebook, live Instagram, streaming YouTube, doing buyer seminars and seller seminars live on social media. That's another way to do stuff. But yes, YouTube is a great way to promote out there. Matter of fact, you're better off to promote from Facebook or IG to your YouTube channel and then put up blogs on YouTube. I would do it the other way. Instead of YouTube out, I do outward into YouTube. Does that make sense? So 80% personal. What I want to see about your art. I want to see about your pets, your cooking. You guys got my pets the past 2 weeks. You'll get them one more time before we're done. We want to talk about real estate business, listings, open houses, awards, speaking events. You guys want to post about that. That's your 20%. Above and beyond community services. With that said, as we hit the 8 o'clock hour, how many of you are participating in your Market Center's Red Day event on May 11th? Thank you, Chloe. Anyone else? If you're not participating, I would ask you why. Kate, thank you. Lauren, thank you. Are you aware of what Red Day is and what we do? Jessica's out of town. I just asked that, Sabrina. Thank you for asking that. May 11th. May 11th is Red Day. It is nationwide. All of KW shuts down, giving back to the community. Red Day means, who knows what Red Day means? What's the RED mean?
Revitalize.
What's that?
Revitalize.
Revitalize, energize. Who knows? Field day activities at an elementary school, that counts. If you're doing field day at elementary school, that's like the biggest sacrifice anybody can make. I'm not. So Chloe, what you got, girl? That was a big one. You're excited. Go.
Renew, energize, and donate.
Good girl. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I just looked at the shirt I ordered for it.
Were the shirts needed?
What's that?
Were the shirts needed? That's the one reason I didn't.
Shirts are not needed, but you had an opportunity to order them. I know our office has already ordered them if you signed up for it. I would highly encourage you guys to get involved with Red Day, and here's one of the reasons why. Community service. You need to be posting that Red Day is coming, that you are part of the community and you're giving back to the community. You need to be taking pictures of yourself out there doing your activities with your office on Red Day and sharing that to social media. And not just on Red Day. Do one of those memory things. Oh my God, 2 months ago, we were doing this for whatever you're doing. I know here in Frederick, we're doing the rescue mission again. I know Columbia is doing the children's home down in Howard County. So wherever you're doing your Red Day event at, make sure you're talking about it. That's your social media post. Remember, in this business, we want to surround ourselves with like-minded people. So if you are a community giver and you're giving back in the community, guess what's going to happen? People are going to see that and they're going to find value in it. They're going to appreciate you for that. And they're going to want to talk to you. So it's another way for you to generate more leads by social media. All right, being 8 o'clock, that pretty much covers social media, to be honest with you. It's, again, I would tell each and every one, if you are not a big social media person, it's okay. It's perfectly okay. And if it's not your thing, it's okay. If you want to make it your thing, find a way to make it your thing. And yes, as Zoe asked, pick a channel, right? Pick a channel. Focus on that one channel. Keep in mind, whatever you do on Instagram is easily shared back to Facebook, and whatever you share on Facebook is easily shared to Instagram because good old Mark Z owns all of it, right? All right, in the chat, I put a couple things in the chat for you guys. One being the survey link I put in there just before we came back from the break. So if you did not do the survey link last week, please complete last week's and this week. It is broken down by day in session. So if you forgot to do it last week, it's okay. You can do it this week. Again, my playbooks are in there. My contact information is in there. I've got at least one text message already. And I'm going to look at the chat right now to remember who else said they wanted to check that out. I'll check it out before I actually sign off so I can get it because I don't want to miss anybody. Any last minute questions? Any ahas? Was this helpful? Who appreciates or whatever? Marsha, thank you. Anybody want to share an aha? Something they took away tonight? Something that was valuable to them?
I really liked the site that you pulled up that showed like kind of like vague boundary lines.
Oh, find it online.
Yeah. I never heard of that or saw that. And I know a lot of people are like, like where does the line or like how far back does it go type of thing. So
there are tons of sites out there, people, tons of sites that are useful to us in every shape and form. All you got to do is search for them. Some of your best places to get information from is to connect when it comes to property stuff. Make sure you're connecting with your in-house title company. They are great resources for all of that information. Make sure that you are connected with great lenders to help you on the mortgage side, especially in this ever-changing market. One of the playbooks that we got from KWRI is mortgage hacks and how to use mortgages to help get deals done and how to best use some of those features. Kate, I love doing role play. It's one of my favorite things. I appreciate that. Matter of fact, next week, what are we doing next week? Oh, I already closed it out. No, I didn't. Hold on a minute. We're doing, strengthening relationships and qualifying buyers and sellers. That's what we're doing. Who wants to role play next week? Be ready because I'm calling on something. Because building relationships is all about that. It's all about the conversations. Yes, you're doing it. I see that face. You're doing it. I'm watching you. You know who I'm talking to. Anyone else want to share an aha? Kim's sitting there giggling at you too. Don't worry about it. Who else had a great aha besides what I see in the chat? Week before the open house. All this is in your books. You guys got your books for this program, correct? So make sure you're reviewing those. Also use that link I gave you. Use the playbooks. The playbooks are super helpful. It's a little bit more condensed version, as well as it gives you the steps inside a command for you to use to do all that. So whether it's direct mailers, whether it's doing social media posting, whether it's doing email blast, doing text messaging through command, I will be honest with you guys, and I will apologize to you guys that I also typically get into the technology when I do this. However, we're covering 2 sessions at once. It's a little bit harder for me to jump into command and show you some stuff. However, I do typically do that. So keep that in mind. If you guys need anything done with command or technology, I don't mind sharing that with you. Diamond, you should have gotten I don't have it up. I don't have the link up right now. Close that spreadsheet out. You should have gotten a link to the books for the class. If not, you can always go to KW Connect. When you're inside of KW Connect, you can go into the courses, and there's a way for you to go and download the courses. Check your previous emails that came out. Never mind. Cesar's got the link up there right now in the chat for you. Thank you, sir. But that's where you can get the books or your handouts, whatever you want to call it for this. So anyone else got a last minute aha or a key takeaway that they liked? I appreciate y'all staying on here, like almost every single one of you. I think, is Zoe still signed in? No, she actually went with the baby dad. I was like, look, she's still signed in to go with the baby dad. I'm impressed right there. So, all right. If you guys got nothing else, I thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Photo or no photos for business cards, Sabrina? Personal preference. That's it. Personal preference. What you want it to look like? How do you feel what it looks like? That would be a personal preference. It's a good question, but personal preference. You're welcome, Mary Cruz. I'll see you later. You're coming to class tomorrow, Mary Cruz, right?
I think so, yes.
Well, now I got people that want her on Zoom, so you might be able to join on Zoom. So. Shannon, I just got like a whole party thing for Shannon. That's cool. I feel like I'm doing like a live on TikTok right now. Like, thanks for the rose, thanks for this, thanks for that. So, how you doing tonight? It's good to see you, Shannon. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
I like ending like this. This is kind of cool. Now I'm gonna go spend 2 hours TikToking. All right. Any other last minute questions? I don't mind sticking around for a hot minute. I mean, I've gone this long. It's been a long day too. So, come on, Chloe.
I have
I'm
one
headed
quick
out.
question.
Thank you, Matt.
I have one quick question, Matt.
All right, Shannon, what you got?
Just for us introverts.
Ooh.
I am not a, it sounds odd because I'm in real estate. I can be an extrovert. I have no problem socializing, but I don't enjoy pictures and don't enjoy posting myself on social media. What do you say to that type of situation?
Don't do it. That's it. Don't do it. Find other things to post. Take scenery photos. Take pictures of the houses, right? You don't have to be in the picture, right? Don't get me wrong. You don't have to be in the picture. You can be standing out front of a house, take a quick snapshot of it and post that on Facebook that says, out checking out properties today for my clients. Doesn't mean you're with clients. You're doing a preview for clients, right? So if you don't want to be in the picture, don't put yourself in there. I would still recommend that you do your best to occasionally put yourself in there, because if they can't put a face to what's going on, what are your odds of somebody gonna? That's my mindset, right? Now, I'm not the end all be all by all means, yet you have to stop and think about why am I posting and what's my goal, right? You don't have to absolutely go out there and put pictures out there. Yet I would encourage you to start getting used to it if you want to start taking a social media footprint. Because if you're not doing that, that's what everybody's looking for. Again, anytime you're on social media, it's always about stopping the scroll, right?
Okay.
Oh, what's that? Let me go back to that. So there's got to be an image or a video there that's going to be captivating. And if it's not captivating, you're not going to stop the scroll. And then whatever words you put it on are meaningless. Again, if it's not you, what's it going to be that's going to stop the scroll?
Okay. Thank you.